Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust. I apologize if I just blew out your speakers and/or eardrums with that very enthusiastic hello, ladies and gentlemen, but we're back. Farlands or Bust. This is episode 306. And let's grab Wolfie and get right down to it. Heading west to the Farlands. Got plenty of wool. I suppose I can let this guy maintain his shirling coat since it is kind of cold in this biome. But yeah, episode 306. Today is Tuesday, October 15th, 2013. You may be asking yourself, or me, Kurt, Tuesday, a Tuesday Farlands or Bust? I really only had one person ask me yesterday, Monday, where the heck is Farlands or Bust? I've been keeping to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule for Farlands or Bust, but I figured this week, since on Friday we can anticipate and expect the Mindcrack Marathon for charity is starting Friday, October 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, I decided to shift the schedule of Farlands or Bust so that we do not overlap. Because obviously we don't want that, but let me take a few steps back and let you know that right now we have raised $47,267.31 for Child's Play charity this season 4 of Farlands or Bust. We are trying to get $100,000 this season, and Mindcrack Marathon Weekend is going to help go towards that goal. We are raising money for Child's Play charity again, but this time with the Mindcrack members in a magical 48-hour live stream charity event that we are totally, completely prepared for and not at all freaking out or regretting scheduling it so close to the chaos of Minecon and last minute putting things together and not really knowing how to do certain things with such a marathon and chats and auctions and servers and things. .com. No, it's a little bit stressful. I'll let you guys know a little bit behind the scenes there. It's going to happen. Whether or not it happens at the level of, say, your Minecraft marathons or your Zelda-thons or anything like that is to be seen. We're very busy people, and we're getting things together. We have some help. We do appreciate the help of people helping us put this together. But let me just say, the Mindcrack Marathon is happening, like I said, October 18th, starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, goes through the 19th, Saturday, and to the 20th, and will end at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday the 20th. And we have some items to auction off throughout the weekend, but really, I've tried to pull the reins back a little bit. It's you know, like it's like a flobathon, but more of a group thing, and we're kind of you know, handing off, say, about 3-hour blocks of time. We have people like Avidia, myself, Good, Vintage Beef, MC Gamer, BTC, Pause and Pause. Your regulars, BOO has signed up for a slot as well, who are going to be basically taking over the stream for each of us. I'll have exact details. I do believe mindcracklp.com is the domain that you will want to bookmark. That probably won't change, but that is probably where we're going to do it. Instead of holding it on the Twitch TV channel, we're going to direct people towards that website instead, because it can have the live donation widget and more chat control, I guess, where we will be doing some of these auctions and stuff, and in general, a more directed, I suppose, focus, as opposed to doing it on Twitch. There's a little bit more focus when we're just on an actual website. But that's I think where it's going to be taking place, but don't quote me on that, I guess. But yeah, we're figuring things out, getting things together, and I have gotten quite a few questions about well, hey, Kurt, you know, certain things like whoa, like Zeldathon or even the last Flobathon weekend raised more than $50,000 in 48 hours. What if, like I said, we're at $47,200 for this season. What if we raise $53,000 for Mindcrack weekend, and if that total rolls over into the Far Lands or Bust goal, that means we will have raised $100,000 for Far Lands or Bust. I realize that's a possibility. I'm not expecting that or anything like that. But of course, that doesn't mean, with everything happening all at once, that doesn't mean I'm going to hold a Flobathon weekend right away or live stream to celebrate that. We'll deal with the possibilities when we deal with the possibilities. I will say, and another reason why I'm only doing 2 Far Lands or Bust this week on Tuesday, Thursday instead of the normal 3, is because people, and I've noticed, but people might be holding on to their pennies for the Mindcrack Marathon weekend. Like I said, we have auctions. Auctions that are, you know, you bid for, and your bid, if you win, goes towards Child's Play charity, obviously, but then you get an autographed or whatever piece of Minecon's past memorabilia and stuff like that. People are waiting for that. We also have a server provided to us via the MC Pro Hosting guys, a server that will be made available for donors. If you donate a certain amount, we're still finalizing that, then you get whitelisted on this server. It's you know, basically a community server. There's going to be, you know, some games like King of the Ladder and stuff like that we could play, and obviously the people streaming, myself, Good, others, you know, the Mindcrack people will be hopping on and playing on that server. As opposed, you know, we're also doing some assorted other games. We'll probably be playing some on the actual official Mindcrack server. And even, you know, we're not limiting ourselves to Minecraft during the live streaming, but, you know, that will be available. So I could understand, and I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of advanced information about that. Ooh, that went down healthily. Just in case. I don't want anybody to donate to Far Lands or Bust, you know, right now, and they'd be like, oh, I should have held on to that so that I could get whitelisted on the server. So I'm just letting you know that right now. And much more specific details will be around probably at 2:59 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, October 18th. Just be patient. Be cool, guys. Please don't stress this out. We are fragile, soft, malleable little YouTubers here that are just trying to figure something out. But yeah, that is the gist so far on Mindcrack Marathon weekend. You just gotta laugh it off, really. Things never exactly go as you plan. Of course, another additional stressor, I suppose, is the Minecon Mindcrack meetup party shindig sort of thing. I put a link in the previous video, and I will put a link here as well, where if you are going to Minecon, if you're going to be in Orlando, if you live in Orlando or the Orlando area and you wanted to have a little mini Minecon Mindcrack YouTuber party meetup thing, that is happening on the Friday of Minecon, Friday before Minecon, excuse me, November 1st, at a bowling alley. And BWO mentioned this in his video. When you say bowling alley, even in my area, you think of a very rundown kind of place, you know. But this is actually kind of a much larger family fun zone, as they kind of say. It's kind of fancy. They have like a full menu and bar and a full arcade in there and huge pool tables. Yeah, the pool tables are actually double the size. No, you know, a bunch of pool tables and like 36 lanes. So it's going to be really cool. So there's that, and you know, we're still figuring out the budget for that. based on how many tickets we've sold, and there are tickets still available, so you can check that out at the Go Get Funding page. I'll put in the link. I'll put in the description below. Okay. Yeah, whatever, that'll work. The block placement is off because the block placement is off. So I was a little bit having problems trying to figure out where to place that torch. But yeah, all that's coming together. I'll talk about one more thing about that, and then we can get to some donor questions to Farlands or Busts in the morning. And awakeness. Boop. Recovered torchness. I had a few messages also regarding Orlando, Florida, and the Minecon weekend. There was to be very somewhat serendipitously, and it just happened to fall at the time, a rocket launch out of the East Coast, Kennedy Space Center, more specifically Cape Canaveral. There was a rocket launch that was slated to go on Friday, November 1st at 7 p.m. about, which is exactly the same time that the whole Mindcrack party thing is happening. And it is actually a SpaceX, the Falcon 9. This isn't the Dragon capsule. This is actually, they're launching a satellite, a communications satellite. And it's using their upgraded Falcon 9 version 1.1 rocket. It was slated early on to go on November 1st, like I said. And that, when I first heard about that, this was actually before things had become finalized with the Mindcrack thing. I was very excited about that. I'm like, I would make a special trip out to Cocoa Beach to try to see that or something like that. I missed the Falcon 9 launch before for the SpaceX tweet up because it got scrubbed at the last second. But I knew this is an experimental rocket. They've only launched it once before, and they had some problems. And I knew, just with my experience in rocket launches, that things would probably get delayed. And indeed, they have. Right now, the rocket launch of that SpaceX Falcon 9 has been moved back from the 1st to no earlier than November 12th, because they do want to figure out some of the issues they had with the rocket launch they did out of Vandenberg. Last month or 2 months ago, they had some issues because they're also, with that rocket, testing the re-entry and recovery of the first stage, the grasshopper stage, just, splashing it down into the ocean. But also their second stage had some problems relighting, and they think it had to do with the fact that there was some unintended or unexpected spin in the stage, and when something spins, you have liquid fuel in there. The centrifugal, not centrifuge, but the centrifugal force makes all of the fuel, get stuck on the walls of the fuel tank instead of going down to the rocket, and it didn't relight. So they're figuring out those problems, and to be honest, I would expect it to be delayed even further than November 12th, just because of that. And also, there's also the government shutdown, and launching from Cape Canaveral is a government facility. It's a military launch facility. Cape Canaveral is separate from Kennedy Space Center. For those of you who aren't aware, Kennedy Space Center is where Pad 39A and B are, which is where the space shuttles launched from and the Saturn rockets launched from. Cape Canaveral, while literally right next door, is a military and Air Force base, and that's where the majority of the unmanned rockets get launched from. Your Atlas V's, your SpaceX Falcon 9s, and other such rockets, such as those. Let's get out a boat, even though I don't know how far we'll be able to go in it. So yeah, the government shutdown might be messing that up a little bit as well. But yeah, that was, it would have been great, and the reason I didn't mention it up until now is because I knew it was going to get delayed. I didn't want to get everybody's hopes up that, oh my gosh, there's going to be a rocket launch while we're in Florida for Minecon. I'm also a little bit relieved because my heart was torn. Obviously, I have to be at the Mindcrack meetup party thing, but I'm like, I also want to see a rocket launch, and it would be most logical to actually take an hour drive down to, like I said, the East Coast, Cocoa Beach or something, to get a close-up view of it. But I'm sure, being a night launch, you would have been able to see it from Orlando. But unfortunately, that is neither here nor there anymore because it is not happening. So I just thought I'd mention that. Kind of a little serendipitous happenstance right there. It would have been nice, but obviously they don't schedule rocket launches around when people can watch them. So, indeed, I think I've touched on everything there, so I suppose we can... Ooh, look at all this. Hold on, I gotta beep, bop, make it an entire... Oh, no, that's not right. Beep, bop. I say bop. A whole line of red rose flowers. What are these called? Yeah, what are these called? Because it changed. Rose. There are no longer roses. Single roses in Minecraft. In the 1.7 update, they change it to a rose bush, and then the red flowers are like poppies or something like that. Oh, now we could use a boat. Dang it! Alright, let's make a boat. Beep, beep, whoop. Let's answer... Excuse me, got an itchy nose. Let's answer some questions from donors to Child's Play charity. Got another donation in from Adlington, who is donating for the Ottawa Senators for every time they win and or score. He says, in 8 games, they play the Chicago Blackhawks. So I ask you, do you support your home team or the team that will get more money to the children? Speaking, of course, if the Ottawa Senators were to win over the Blackhawks, he would donate more money. To be honest, I'm not huge into hockey. The Chicago Blackhawks have won the Stanley Cup very recently, so not bragging or anything. When was the last time the Senators won the Stanley Cup? I honestly have no idea. That could have been last year. I have no idea. I don't follow hockey at all. So it would be fine and dandy with either outcome, I'm sure. But I do appreciate, once again, Adlington from the Mindcrack server donating to Child's Play charity with that little kind of fun little goal, a little incentive in mind. Very cool. Let's see. From Ovaraptor, we played some of Seth Bling's building game together. I got together Lorgon111, Brian, had invited me to play some of the building game. I did record it. You might have seen some other people post their videos that I and Brian were in. We played 2 games. I might edit it down and put together a video to put up sometime soon here, if I have time, away from all this stuff that we are scheduling. But I have that, and Ovaraptor asked, what did you think of the game? I think it's a fun game. I'm a little bit undecided on how good it is for YouTube commentary. It's certainly entertaining and fun, both to watch and play. But we noted how, or at least I noted, I'm quiet regardless, but when you're doing the actual building part of it, there's a whole 5-minute stretch there where you can't really... You can make jokes and talk, but you can't really talk about what you're doing like a normal Let's Play would do. Like, I'm used to saying, okay, now I have to do this. Oh, wait, how do you do this? I don't know what this looks like. You can't be specific because then you give away what you're building, and that's not the point of the building game. So I'm a little bit torn on whether or not it's good for commentary. I mean, obviously there have been some very popular videos and groups of people playing the game, but yes, I had fun. It was fun to get a little bit creative. I'm not the best builder in the world, and I honestly don't ever play in creative mode, so while playing in creative mode, I'm like, wait, what's the best block for this? I'm sure there are blocks that I have no idea even exist that could be a good representation of this build or something like that, but yeah, had fun, so it was good playing with you. And an actual question they asked with their donation: have you ever been walking somewhere by yourself and you think of something really funny and laugh out loud or smile and suddenly become self-aware that there are people around who have no idea what you're laughing or smiling about? Yes, that happens. I think that is a standard... I'm going to take the long way around this this lake simply because I don't want to build a boat, even though it might be faster. I'm stretching my legs. Yeah, that happens. I think that is, like I said, a standard human experience. You think about something and you laugh and you're like, oh, nobody knows why I'm laughing. They think I'm crazy. So yes, that happens quite frequently. Alternately, you think of something that like makes you cringe or makes you feel awkward or embarrassed. Even, you know, something had happened years ago. It just pops into your head because your brain is a jerk. And you like make like a revolted, like, yeah, like shake it off sort of look, and then you're like, oh, I'm standing in line at the grocery store. Perhaps I should not be internalizing these reactions. So, yeah, that happens. That happens indeed. Chick on. Let's build another elevated hidey hole here. In the beach. I'll see you on the beach. Whoop. Woof. Alright. Oh, wait, that doesn't... I wonder if that would do something strange on this hidey hole. Hopefully that doesn't mess up anything about my spawning. Getting experimental here. Alright, so yeah, let's go to sleep, and then we can answer some more questions in the morning. And a building gameness. Woof. Let's see, from Phobok, you may have answered this before, but with how strongly you believe in Child's Play, supporting Child's Play charity, they get toys, books, and games to kids in hospitals around the world, obviously. Whoop, I lost the question. Did you spend any time in a hospital as a child? Having had 20 surgeries by the time I was 12, this is Phobok speaking, I wish Child's Play had been around in those days. And actually, this has been asked before, and I've kind of mentioned this as the sentimental piano music kicks in at exactly the right opportune time. I didn't. I was lucky enough to be quite healthy, honestly. I don't think I ever had to spend any time in a hospital as a kid, whether or not it even be for a random illness or allergy or broken bone or anything. I think I was pretty lucky. And yeah, so that really wasn't any sort of personal inspiration to start giving to Child's Play charity, but I suppose in feeling lucky and being lucky enough not to have had to experience that, it makes you want to turn around and give back to those who might not be as fortunate. And, you know, I suppose it doesn't have anything to do with luck, but who aren't as fortunate and perhaps are in those situations that I was fortunate enough not to have to deal with. So that's always a reason, perhaps, Whoa, I didn't jump, I meant to jump. Careful, Wolfie, careful, Wolfie, careful, Wolfie. Ha, yeah, go this way, no. Okay, well done. Whoa, you went down deep there. Woof, yes he did. So yeah, I do wish that you had something like Child's Play charity while you were going through your hospital visits, but I'm glad it exists now, and kids now can benefit and recover with the benefits of Child's Play charity. So thank you very much, Phobok, for the donation and the question. Sorry, hold on, I need to... Wonderful. Ooh, look at that place. We almost missed it. Almost completely walked right by it. Kind of a cool archway. Neat. Very cool. We are going to miss it. I'm not really going to walk any closer, but... let's see. That was... Did I explain that? I took a drink of water. Why I paused there. My throat is feeling a little bit dry. It's gotten chilly here where I live. I don't have the heat on yet. The heat is normally what, turning the heat on in the house is normally what causes things to be dry, but I do feel just like a little bit dry and there is an overall lack of moisture in in my atmosphere right now, so feeling a little bit like my talking throat voice. My talking throat voice. Yeah, isn't that the throat? What? Where's that from? The throat singers of Mongolian throat singers or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, the air is a little bit dry, so I'm kind of feeling it. And I do have to preserve my voice if we're doing this marathon live stream thing. Let's see. Another question I can ask. I suppose speaking of my voice and such. Oh! Look at this. Cool ice cathedral. Hold on, Wolfie, I want to check it out. Ooh, that kind of goes down there. Easy. Neat. Very neat. Maybe not as neat as I anticipated. You there, you want to live down there, don't you? Sure you do. Ooh. Ooh. Come on. No! Aw. Do you, like, have a... Yeah. You are now the sole proprietor of the underground ice cathedral, dear pig, sir. Let's see, a question, speaking of also voices, from Allo Ara? Allo apostrophe RRA. Alora? Sounds like there should be some sort of, like, Irish twang there in between those two syllables. Some YouTubers are now at a point where they run their own panels and such. I was wondering if you felt you could make the attendance. Would you ever consider doing a live stream from a panel with a live Q&A from the audience? I thought about it. Obviously, we have, during Minecon, the Mindcrack panel, which is, at this point, the only panel I am participating in. And that, of course, will be a live Q&A thing, but with all the Mindcrack guys. I thought about, I could start complaining about Minecon and how they run it again, but, there was really, they sent out an email. If you have tickets, you probably got the same email, but it was like on a Thursday, they sent out an email explaining panel submissions, and they had to be in by Sunday night, or Monday morning or something like that. So there was like 4 days of lead time on panel submissions. It might have been more. Maybe I just didn't get the email early enough, but obviously we had arrangements for the Mindcrack panel before then, simply due to the success of the panel last year. Look at these mushrooms are an invasive species taking over this poor, unsuspecting sapling. And I thought the only other type of panel I could see doing, I don't know that a Farlands or Bust panel would be the greatest thing, the greatest idea ever, but I thought of maybe doing like a panel on Minecraft for charity, like charity, using Minecraft for charity. Obviously, other people who could be involved would be Mark from Minecraft Marathon, MC Gamer, even though his Zelda-thon, he does things for charity, gaming for charity, kind of a general panel like that. And I thought about that for like 5 seconds, and then I realized all the other stuff I had to do prior to Minecon anyway, and decided to say nope. There's a community there that uses Minecraft and games in general for charity that I think could make an interesting panel, but like I said, I didn't want to be the one to organize it because I didn't feel like I had either the proper connections to gather other panelists to do it, or the time or energy to actually create content for it and make it about the charity stuff, as opposed to just about myself and Farlands Bust or whatever. So possibly, but to be honest, I don't really have any other, specifically Minecon, I don't have any other type of special knowledge to share. Like, obviously, Seth Bling does also, he's part of the Redstone Masters panel, or whatever they call it. There's other panels for running a Minecraft server, or What other panels are there? I really didn't see last Minecon any panels whatsoever. Obviously, there's, I'm sure, panels even for YouTubing and stuff like that, but maybe those are held by the YouTuber, like, people, YouTube people. I think YouTube people had people a presence at the first Minecon, but not at the last one. I remember Good and BOO saying that because they were at the first Minecon. And I think Good was actually on the panel with the YouTube representative, with other YouTubers talking about recording and uploading videos. So I suppose, you know, maybe that as well, although I don't consider myself an expert at that. So, yeah, to say I considered it, indeed, but I just... I don't know. I don't feel like panels for me are the reason that I would go to Minecon or any gaming convention. Really, it's especially Minecon is more about being there for fans and things, and it only being 2 days long all of the time, aside from whatever hour or so block of time we have for the Mindcrack panel, is going to be visiting with you guys and you know, hanging out in whatever area we have for YouTubers or people to meet and talk and things like that. Wolfie agrees. Wolfie can't come, though, because, you know, he's not real. And I just shattered the lives of every Farlander. No. How am I... Uh-oh, it's getting dark. Wolfie knows. He's like, it's dangerous. There we go. Much better. So yeah, thank you very much for the question, Alora, and the donation. Everybody who I answered questions from. We've got some pretty epic snow mountains coming up ahead for the next episode. Like I said, that'll be coming up on Thursday. A little bit shift in the Farlander Bus schedule. We're doing Tuesday and Thursday, and then Friday at 3 p.m. is the Mindcrack Marathon live stream. Also raising money for Child's Play charities, so be sure to be there or be there. Oh god, I'm sorry. I saw that coming, but I did nothing to stop it. Oh gosh. Alright, let's do this. Woof. Sorry. I'm sorry. It was a mistake. A misjudgment in shovel placement. Sorry. Yeah, let's... make this thing a hole, hidey hole, a hole, hidey hole, and then I guess that'll work, right? That will not, Kurt. That will not work. Dang it! Dang it! Hold on. Let's. There we go. We got two. Oh, we need to make this one bigger. All right. I am experienced at making hidey holes. I've only done over 300 of them, jeez. Alright, let's do this, and so yeah. Mindcrack Marathon this weekend. Be sure to check that out. It's going for 48 hours straight. No pressure. No pressure, Kurt. And yeah, then after that, it's only 2 weeks until Minecon 2013. So, exciting things. What am I doing here? I'm just so flustered and Kurt J-Macked that I'm forgetting my progression of episodes here. We gotta make the beds. Let's make a boat while we're at it. And I appreciate you guys for following along. And all your support for Farlander Bust and Child's Play charity and the whole Mindcrack, dang it, the whole Mindcrack community and everything. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.